कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। In the Valmiki Ramayana, what we have been experiencing and enjoying, Gayatri Ramayana is an integral part. In the Gayatri Ramayana, the Acharyas have chosen the 24 shlokas whose first letters put together bring the essence of Gayatri Mahamantram or Surya Gayatri. In that, the 13th shloka is a very interesting shloka. Why? This is where Sundara Kandam begins. Hanuman, after having obtained the blessings of Rama and after having come with the other Vanara Sainyam to the south of India near Mahendragiri, listens and understands from Sampati and through the words of Sampati's son Suparshva that a lady had been shedding tears at a distance of about 100 yojanas further south. Hanuman, with the blessings of Jambavan and with the motivation given by Jambavan, begins his expedition to Lanka. He stands atop the mountain, invokes the blessings of Rama, his parents and his Acharya Surya, and begins his sojourn to Lanka. In that journey, he manages to win over the 3 obstacles, Mainakam, Surasa and Simhika. And after having won over the 3 obstacles, he goes further down and then arrives in Lanka. And as he arrives in Lanka, he is being admonished, troubled by the caretaker of Lanka called Lankini. She gives him a knock on the head. Hanuman doesn't take it lightly. He gives her back one. While she gets it back, she manages to remember what she had forgotten, that this was a janma of papam, and then she had to leave the moment an extraordinary Vanara would knock at her. So that is where Hanuman wins over Lankini and enters Lanka. That is why the shlokam says, the 12,001th shloka. Sanirjitya purim sreshtham lankam tam kamarupinim vikramena mahatejaha Hanuman marudatmajaha. Hanuman was able to climb the long sturdy walls of the fortress of Lanka by winning over Lankini. He gets into Lanka, manages to walk by the streets, and then finally gets into the Antahpuram of Ravana. For a moment, he thinks the sleeping Mandodari, the wife of Ravana, to be Sita. So he expresses his happiness as if he has seen Sita. Aspotayamasa chuchumba pucham nananda chikrida jagau jagama stambanaroham nipapata bhumau nidarshayam swam prakritim kapinam. He shows the nature of a true Vanara. And then, understanding this to be non-Sita, somebody else and not Sita, he goes to the kitchen of Ravana and spots various kinds of meat that have been cooked. The moment he understands that Sita could not be spotted here, he goes one Vatika after the other and then finally reaches the Ashoka Vatika. In the Ashoka Vatika, he sees a lady who has been looking at one direction with her eyes moist. Ekastha Hridayanunam Rameva Anupashyati. He deciphers this to be Sita and then spots Ravana who comes and threatens her to marry him. The moment Hanuman notices, he feels like killing Ravana, but he could not because he has come in a very clandestine way. On the other hand, Sita has been worryingly saying that nobody from Rama's side had approached her. That is when in her soliloquy, she says that when will I get to see those eyes of Rama that are as beautiful as the petals of a newly blossomed lotus. In her soliloquy, she says this, and that is the 13,001th shloka. Dhanya devasya gandharvaha siddhascha paramarshayah mama pashyanti ye natham ramam rajivalochanam. When will I get to see that Rama who has got the eyes of the petals of a lotus? Ramam rajivalochanam. Now, after having said this, he has to approach Sita, and Sita is in the verge of committing suicide. So in order to protect her, he starts describing the beauty of Rama and the incidents in the Ramayana that had happened till then. Listening to this vivid description of the Ramayana, Sita takes notice of Hanuman, and Hanuman, in order to confirm that he is the messenger of Rama, gives the Anguliyakam, the Ramanamaankitam Chedam Darshadeva Anguliyakam Darshadevi. Look at this particular ring he showcases. He describes Rama's beauty. Sita blesses Hanuman. And in that place, we have Akshakumara who comes. Akshakumara fights intensely with Hanuman. Hanuman manages to vanquish Akshakumara. That is why we have this beautiful shloka, Akshahantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram. Akshahantaram. He kills Akshakumara. Later, Indrajit comes and Hanuman tries to act as if he has succumbed to the Brahmastram in order to respect Brahma. Indrajit takes Hanuman to the Sabhamantapam of Ravana, and Ravana says that this Vanara should be killed. That is when Vibhishana stands and says it is wrong to kill the envoy, the ambassador of any company, of any particular country. So it is better that we admonish the Vanara by punishing the Vanara. So in that particular instance, when Vibhishana talks about dharma, Hanuman takes notice of Vibhishana's inclination to dharma. So, it has been commanded by Ravana that Hanuman's tail should be burnt. So, all the clothes were wound upon Hanuman's tail. They were dipped in the fuel and fire was lit. Hanuman managed to spread this fire across Lanka, burying the houses of the elderly, the women and the children. When the Rakshasis come and inform Sita, that Vanara which was talking to you, we have burnt its tail. That is when Sita says, if I am being very, very true to my Patimvrata dharmam, Shito hava Hanumataha. Let Hanuman's tail be cooled. That is when this shloka, which is the 14,001th shloka, comes into picture. Mangalabhimukhi tasya sadadasin mahakapehe upatasthe vishalakshi prayada havyavahanam. She prayed to Agni Deva that if her Pativratyam is true, then Shito bhava Hanumataha, let Hanuman's tail be cooled. The moment her prayers were done, Hanuman felt as if his tail was in some air conditioner, AC. Well, after Hanuman managed to see Sita, obtain her blessings, in turn take her Chudamani and come back to Bharata Desham, all the Vanaras and the age-old Jambavan were very excited. They go to a vanam called Madhuvanam and drink upon the Varuni, the fermented liquor there. And the caretaker Dadhimuka is left with bruises. He goes and complains to Sugriva that Hanuman had committed such an act along with the other Vanaras, and Sugriva assures Rama that without a reason Hanuman will not cause such a big mood amongst his followers and other Vanaras. So Hanuman has spotted Sita. On the other hand, Hanuman comes and tells Rama, Drishta Sita, Kandanan Karpinukku Aniyai Kangalal, Irpirappu Yerbadunnu, Karpu Yena Payradunnu, Kalinadam Puriya Kandin. Rama embraces Hanuman. Apara, Paravara, Parikha, Parivrita, Parapura, Parasvita, Davadahana, Javana, Pavana, Bhava, Kapivara, Parishvanga Bhavita, Sarvasvadana. He gave a heartfelt embrace to Hanuman. On the other hand, after Hanuman had caused such collateral damage in Lanka, Ravana calls for a meeting where people could brainstorm the reasons why such repercussions were felt. That is where Vibhishana advises Ravana that it is high time that he gives away Sita, somebody else's wife, to her own husband, and leave away such carnal thoughts of having a physical relationship with her, because it doesn't suit the administrator, and such intent will only cause more harm to him and to his regime. Hitam Mahartham, that is the 15,001th verse. Hitam Mahartham Mrudu Hetu Samhitam Vyatita Kalayati Sampratikshamam Nishamya Tadvakyam Upasthita Jvaraha Prasangavanutarametadabravit. So that is when he says, Nishamya Tadvakya Upasthita Jvaraha. That is when he says that when a Vanara has been able to do so much damage, imagine what Rama can do, so give back Sita. So this 15,001th verse describes Vibhishana's advice to Ravana. So, these particular verses describe the 4 letters of Gayatri Mantram, Ya, Dhi, Ma, Hi. So, these 4 letters have been discussed in the 4 shlokas of the Gayatri Ramayana. We just have another 8 more shlokas that will bring to us the essence of Gayatri Mantra.
Jayatyashruta santrasa dhvanta vidvamsa nodayaha prabhavan sitaya devya paramavyoma bhaskaraha. Ramayana is such a beautiful itihasa sreshtham that links different parts of Bharata Desham, and just not Bharatam, different parts of the subcontinent. 292 episodes in simple English for 15 minutes every day on the Ramayana. We began on the Rama Navami and we are going to conclude on the Makara Shankaranti Uttarayana Punyakalam. This is a lamp that you see in front of me. My great grandfather, my mother's father's father, Pundi, Sri Rangaswamy Iyengar, used to recite the verses of the Valmiki Ramayana religiously every day for 365 days a year for a period of 40 years. And this is the lamp that he used to light. And here are the 2 bound books which are over 100 years old, which he used to read the verses of the Ramayana from. And here is the wooden stand, the book stand that he used to keep the Ramayana in. Fortunately, I have bequeathed all of them. My great-grandfather was called Pattabhirama Iyengar. My maternal grandfather was called Veera Raghavan. My daughter is named after Sita Devi as Kshitija. Everything in our family has an association with the Ramayana. I am sure, 100% sure, Each of you will have an association with the Ramayana, either with a name, either in the form of a book, either in the form of a lamp, either in the form of a beautiful murti of Rama, either in the form of a beautiful painting of Rama. So let's use the hashtag Ramayana for us and tag and let us know how much each of us have loved Rama, Sita, the entire Rama Parivar and the Ramayana. This is a moment which we can create with very little efforts from our side till the inauguration of the grand Sri Rama Janmabhoomi temple. Jai Shri Ram.
Namaskara Mastikas, and tentatively scheduled to travel to Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the Met February, to 7 cities in the countries of Australia and New Zealand, namely Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland and Wellington between the 25th of February and the 25th of March, and scheduled to travel to Singapore either in the month of April or January, and later I'll be rendering discourses in New Jersey, Boston, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and then in St. Louis and Indianapolis in the month of July. I'm sure you would love to share this message with your friends and relatives. Dear Astika reader, I'm happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.